Despite national rising graduation rates, low-income and minority students continue to lag behind their peers in high school. It has been proven that after-school programs help keep kids engaged and it improves their academic engagement. Today I am here to request a donation to the Bridge Boys and Girls Club by describing the need for funding, outlining the benefits of how it affects the youth, and describing how the funding will impact the community. As many of us know, charitable nonprofit organizations require a large amount of financial support and depend largely on donations to operate effectively. The Bridge Boys and Girls Club is no different. As reported in a press release by the Bridge of Northeast Florida, they recently lost major funding, and this impacted the number of services they were able to provide. They lost a lot of staff, and so consequently, the number of youth they were able to serve decreased significantly. This left more kids on the streets and unattended after school, leaving them at risk to get into trouble and commit crimes. Instances like these work against the benefits that the Boys and Girls Clubs provide, such as preventing the risk factors that negatively impact our youth, such as homelessness and poverty. For example, Community Connections was a homeless shelter here in Jacksonville. They house women and children, and they also, similar to the Bridge, they provided an after-school program, a nonprofit organization as well, and they also depended largely on donations and public and private funding as well. They lost their primary source of funding and ended up closing their doors to the community after 105 years, which leaves countless women, family, and children unattended for and putting them at risk for things that negatively impact them, such as poverty and homelessness. While the Boys and Girls Club unfortunately does not provide housing or homelessness, they do impact the lives of youth that are homeless and impoverished. They do provide snacks, and they serve as a community hub for lunches and meals for impoverished students. And as reported by the Pew Charitable Trust, homeless youth are more at risk for risk factors such as substance abuse, mental health, and sexual exploitation, which the Boys and Girls Club does implement resources to help youth with these things. So this brings me to my final point, in that providing funding for the Boys and Girls Club it will allow them to have a greater community reach and impact. They do serve the youth. It will help them get more youth off the street during the after-school programs that they provide. One such example is that recently when the Boys and Girls Club, they lost their funding, the Bridge, they actually merged with the Bridge of Northeast Florida and the Boys and Girls Club. There was a merger, and two after-school organizations that serve youth, two organizations came together, and it increased the funding, and it allowed them to serve the community in a more efficient way. The number of sites increased from 15 to 23. Their budget increased from $4.6 million to $9.4 million, and the annual employees serving the youth will increase from 189 to 341. So in conclusion, I requested a donation to the Boys and Girls Club. I outlined the benefits that it will provide to the youth, and I explained how the funding will help serve the community. The Bridge Boys and Girls Club is located just less than about 15 minutes away from here. They're on 8th and Pearl Street. And I urge you guys to stop by. They operate Monday through Friday. And again, they do serve underprivileged youth. And they help them eat. And so you all can donate food as well. They do accept those types of donations. And thank you for your time.